What if I told you that Magic Johnson, the man who brought Showtime back to Los Angeles, walked away from his dream job and publicly accused his own general manager of stabbing him in the back? This isn't just another feel-good Lakers story. This is about power, betrayal, and the shocking moment when Magic decided he'd had enough of the politics destroying his beloved franchise from the inside. Most fans think they know what happened when Magic suddenly resigned from the Lakers in 2019. The truth is far more explosive than anyone realized. Behind those closed doors at the Lakers facility, accusations were flying, trust was shattered, and relationships that took decades to build crumbled in a matter of months. What really went down between Magic and Rob Pelinka? And why did Magic choose to burn bridges with the organization he'd given his entire life to? The year was 2017, and Magic Johnson was riding high. After years of watching his Lakers spiral into mediocrity, he finally had the chance to fix everything. Jeannie Buss had just handed him the keys to the kingdom as president of basketball operations. The plan seemed perfect. Bring back the legend who understood what it meant to be a Laker, pair him with a sharp young GM in Rob Pelinka, and restore the franchise to its former glory. Magic was pumped. He talked about bringing back Showtime, about making the Lakers relevant again. The fans were ecstatic. Finally, someone who got it was running the show. But what nobody saw coming was the personality clash brewing beneath the surface. Magic was old school. He made decisions based on relationships, gut feelings, and his decades of experience in the game. Pelinka was the opposite, a former agent who loved spreadsheets, analytics, and playing every angle. At first, it seemed like the perfect combination. The legend and the numbers guy, what could go wrong? Everything, as it turns out. Because while Magic was out there being the face of the franchise, glad-handing with free agents and selling the Lakers' vision, Pelinka was quietly working his own agenda behind the scenes. And people around the league started noticing. Whispers began circulating that Pelinka was undermining Magic's authority. Former players, agents, and executives started pulling Magic aside at games and events. The message was always the same: watch your back with Rob. At first, Magic brushed it off. He figured it was just typical NBA gossip, jealous people trying to create drama where none existed. But the warnings kept coming. More and more people were telling him the same thing. Pelinka was making moves without consulting him, taking credit for Magic's ideas, painting himself as the real brains behind the Lakers' turnaround, while Magic was just the figurehead. The breaking point came during the 2018-2019 season. The Lakers had landed LeBron James, the biggest free agent coup in years, and expectations were through the roof, but the team was struggling, and fingers were pointing in every direction. Magic wanted to fire head coach Luke Walton. It made sense. The team wasn't performing, LeBron was frustrated, and changes needed to be made. But here's where things got messy. Magic thought he and Pelinka were on the same page about Walton. They discussed it multiple times, and Magic believed they had an understanding. But when it came time to actually pull the trigger, Pelinka started playing games. He questioned the timing, brought up contract issues, and basically threw every roadblock he could find in Magic's path. To Magic, it felt like sabotage. Here he was trying to make the tough decisions that needed to be made, and his own GM was working against him. The final straw came when Magic discovered that Pelinka had been having private conversations with Jeannie Buss about the direction of the team, not joint meetings where all three of them could discuss strategy together, secret one-on-ones, where Pelinka was positioning himself as the voice of reason, while painting Magic as impulsive and out of touch with modern basketball. Magic felt betrayed. This wasn't how partnerships were supposed to work. But what happened next shocked everyone, including Pelinka himself. Instead of having a private conversation or working things out behind closed doors like most executives would do, Magic went nuclear. He called up ESPN and dropped a bombshell that sent shockwaves through the entire NBA. In a live television interview, Magic announced his resignation and didn't hold back about why he was leaving. Magic accused Pelinka of backstabbing him, of being disloyal, and of trying to push him out of his own organization. He said he couldn't work with someone he didn't trust, someone who was supposedly his partner, but was actually working against him every step of the way. The basketball world was stunned. Magic Johnson, Mr. Laker himself, was publicly calling out his own GM on national television. It was unprecedented. The timing couldn't have been worse for the Lakers. They were about to enter the most important offseason in franchise history. LeBron's first year had been a disappointment, and they needed to make major moves to build a championship contender around him. Instead, they were dealing with a public relations nightmare and a power structure that had completely collapsed. Pelinka tried to do damage control, But the damage was done. Magic had essentially accused him of being a snake, and everyone in the league was watching to see how it would play out. Free agents started having second thoughts about joining an organization that seemed to be imploding from within. Other teams began circling like vultures, hoping to take advantage of the Lakers' dysfunction. Here's what most people don't know about that aftermath. LeBron James was furious, not just about Magic leaving, but about how the whole situation was handled. He'd come to Los Angeles partly because of Magic's vision for the team. Now that vision was gone, and he was stuck with a GM that his mentor had just called untrustworthy on national television. The relationship between LeBron and Pelinka was icy for months. Behind the scenes, Magic was having serious regrets about how he'd handled everything. Friends close to him say he wished he'd found a different way to deal with the situation. Going public with the accusations had felt good in the moment, but it had also damaged the Lakers' reputation and made things harder for everyone involved. Magic started wondering if he'd been too harsh, if maybe there was a way they could have worked things out. The most surprising part of this whole story? Magic and Pelinka eventually found a way to patch things up. Not immediately, it took years, but slowly, through mutual friends and their shared love for the Lakers, they began to rebuild some trust. Pelinka proved himself by helping construct the championship team that won it all in 2020. Magic publicly gave him credit for the moves that brought home banner number 17. Today, if you ask Magic about the whole situation, he'll tell you it was a learning experience. He admits he could have handled things better, been more patient, tried harder to make the partnership work. But he also stands by his decision to walk away when he felt he couldn't do his job effectively. Sometimes, he says, you have to know when to fold your hand, even if it means burning some bridges in the process. The real lesson from Magic's Lakers betrayal isn't about who was right or wrong. It's about how quickly things can fall apart when trust breaks down, and how even legends aren't immune to the politics and power struggles that define modern professional sports. Magic Johnson learned that the hard way, and the Lakers nearly paid the ultimate price for it.